Hello, how you doing? Just grinding. Opinion on microtransactions? Most of them are pretty predatory. I think this game is pretty fine with microtransactions because it's mostly just legally buying gold. It's like not that bad. Especially since they made it so you get a better value for your money. There's definitely games where you get really trash value for your money. Those are the ones I can't justify playing. That's why I stopped with Honkai Impact. Microtransactions in that game were really bad. You got such a trash value for your dollar. It's just like I can't play this game. I don't make enough. Honestly, the fact that I don't make much money doesn't even really have any bearing on how bad that game's microtransactions are. It's mostly just that if I had that money to play that game, I would not want to spend it on the game anyway. Which is kind of the problem. Now, if you spend money on this game, you get your money's worth. As long as you don't buy stupid stuff. Spend like 30 bucks on this, you get like 70 million. It's not bad. Just have to be smart about it. Sell packages or something. It's the way it should be. If you spend money on a game like this, you should get your money's worth. You shouldn't feel like you're being ripped off. You're already buying something that's not like actually real. You're buying virtual goods. It should be worth your money. Also, playing games like this as a content creator is really hard. Not even really feasible for some people because, well, for this game it's fine. You don't really need to spend money on this game. Not lots of money anyway. Figure if you have anybody actually watching you play this game, you can probably cough up like 30 bucks a month for a package if you need some money. Some in-game money. But like gacha games with like loot boxes and stuff, they're really shitty games to cover. Just because people expect you to have all the new characters, and depending on the game, it can be like legit possible to get them. How the game's progression system is set up. That was kind of the problem with KOF All-Star, was you needed so many copies of a character to make them even remotely in-game viable. People would ask you for reviews and stuff. It's like, well, I don't feel like spending $100 on the game right now. I think you got a decent value for your money in that game, but it still wasn't great. Better than other games I've played for sure. Probably why those, like Genshin, big Genshin channels have to use clickbait so much, because it's so expensive to, like, upkeep that game. Maybe they're at the point where it doesn't hurt them that much, but I can't really play those games and be competitive as a content creator, because I have too low income. Something like this, it's more just paying for convenience. You can grind for money, but it takes way longer. If you cough up 30 bucks, you get like instant money. It's just, do you want to do that? You get your money's worth if you just buy a package and you sell it to somebody, get your money back. Plus, I also feel like don't mind supporting a game if I like it. I play PGR every day. I spend money on that game every month, but I enjoy playing it. It's fun, and I feel like I get my money's worth. I spend like 15 bucks on that game a month, and I don't watch TV. I don't have any kind of streaming service payments besides just YouTube Premium and Twitch Turbo. I can afford that. But that game does a good job of making it. If you spend money on the game, you get your money's worth. Ones where I feel like I'm just throwing money into a pit, I don't play for that long. I kind of felt that way with Diablo Immortal. I didn't spend that much on that game, but I played that game hardcore for a while, a couple weeks. The value for your money in that game was awful. Not even trying to hide it. Yeah, I won't stick around that long to do that. Well, they're about taking advantage of weak-minded people. It's just I've been playing games like this for so long that it's harder for me to fall for it. I have to look at like the actual dollar to value rate, which in this game is pretty good. You know, if you buy the package of the month and you don't buy it too late. Look for somebody that actually wants it. You spend the 30 bucks. Get your money's worth. Because you can just sell the package and make like a quick 60, 70 million. Which in this game isn't too much, but compared to other games, that's actually pretty significant. If you want to upgrade a weapon or something, you can just do that. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. Well, the thing about gacha games, you have to realize that most of them have really bad power creep. So, a lot of that really is just manipulation, yes. The power creep in this game is... The power creep in this game is more the gear, not the characters. The characters are basically just different playstyles. And this game predates gacha games. That's how they used to do power creep, but now it's, you know, busted characters. Like, really broken-ass characters. It's completely different from how it used to be. Some service games have really bad power creep. That's why I quit playing KOF All-Star because of that shit. They would power creep like every other month. But then there like also wasn't anything to use it on, so like when I quit KOF All-Star, I had cleared like probably like 85% of the content in the game. Just like there's so much power creep, but then there's also nothing to use it on, so it's like it just doesn't make sense. And their idea of challenge is just random hyper armor and doing supers out of hit stun and stuff. That's their way of making it harder. Instead of like, that game has a fun combo system, but it hasn't been relevant in a long time. A couple years now. KOF All-Star is a good example of really bad power creep. It's like the characters get more and more ridiculous, but the longer you've been playing the game, like, the less worthwhile it is to even spend money on them, which is really weird. They haven't, like, power crept the content. They power creep the characters a ton. Last collab was Street Fighter. And like those characters can clear every piece of content in the game single-handedly. Even if you only had those 3 characters, you could clear like almost everything. But then they're starting to power creep them already. It's like, well, you haven't added equivalent content to like even warrant that. That's why games like this are cool. It sucks when you get like best in slot stuff and they do a power creep reset. But I prefer that to like this character you got is useless now. Track from a game that doesn't exist anymore. This game's been dead for years. It's an okay game. Couldn't compete with this though. Didn't last very long. Monk is the class I'm playing. This game doesn't have actual characters. You're playing a class. You're not playing like a predefined character. It's just different from like gacha games where you're playing like an actual pre-designed character. In this game, you just play a class. You make them your own. You make them look different and stuff. So it's like MMO characters, kind of just nondescript. Really have any distinguishing features outside of how they design them in the art and stuff. They make. Nothing today. Alright, switch characters. That's right, Star Ocean, this is from Star Ocean 3. The new, Star Ocean 6 comes out very soon. Definitely looks pretty good so far. I'm surprised at how competent it looks. And the marketing for it has been really good too. Not wasting your time with tons of cutscenes. It's like, look, we're going to show you the cutscenes, yes, and tell you about the story, but we're not going to dig around. We're actually going to show you the game too. Hopefully it's better than Arise, but that's a pretty low bar. That's a very low bar. Oh man, good track right here. Payon Dungeon. I'm dating myself knowing this song. Alright, we're done on him for today. have to actually do that quest. Can I skip that? I really hope I can. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I ain't doing it. No thanks. Nice of them to include that. Why can't I find the Awakening quest? It's like not here. Maybe I have to go a little bit farther in. Oh yeah, we'll just do this. I should do it. There it is. Probably all those sports games. Those games are garbage. They're really poorly made. And they crunch the people who make them to death, because they have to put them out every year. No, sports games actually used to be pretty fun when they didn't try to be realistic, or have like any kind of adherence to reality. As in, like, not having real people in them. NBA Jam was fun, NFL Blitz. Arcade sports was fun, but, like, they don't make those anymore. They, like, legit stopped. It's just Madden and FIFA every year, over and over. Apparently that community is pretty pissed, because I guess the past couple years of those games have been really bad. Even worse than usual. Like, they have no value at all. They're just... they exist. There's no, like, artistic quality to them at all. They're just there. You can say the same thing for racing games, too. Racing games have been in a really bad decline. They just keep putting out Forza. Just keep putting out Forza over and over. playlist is really favoring DFO music right now, which is good because that's what I'm playing. I don't like this game's new music as much as the old music, and I don't know, it's just different. I don't like it as much. A little bit too orchestrated for me. Arcade racers are fun because they're not realistic and they don't have any ties to reality, so they're more fun. I think the Sims are really boring. Gran Turismo and Forza. I hear the new Gran Turismo is a train wreck anyway. People like actively hate that game for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know exactly what's wrong with it, but people hate it with a passion. It's just like, I never really saw the appeal of those games. Stuff like F-Zero, Mario Kart, Burnout, like, those are like the best racing games, but all of them but Mario Kart are dead franchises. There hasn't been a new F-Zero in like almost 20 years now. Last Burnout was Paradise, and Paradise is very divisive because it kind of stopped being an arcade racer. It kind of was, but the open world, just like every other open world game, kind of took a lot away from it. People didn't like it. Paradise isn't a bad game, but I would still rather play 3-Year Revenge over that by far. Like, no contest. Racing games just suffer from being the most fun when they first started out, arcade racers. Then they started making nothing but Sims, and I think the Sims are boring. It's like, I play those games to go fast and like do crazy stunts and stuff, not to play in a realistic car. And the problem with realistic cars is that they can't have them be damaged because the car companies are like pro wrestlers. They have like massive egos. They won't allow the cars to be damaged, so it doesn't even feel fun. It doesn't even feel like a real sim because it's like you can't crash the car. The car companies have like such huge egos. Like, dude, I think everybody accepts the fact that if the car crashed, it would crash. Like, it's like weird, like, censorship kind of thing that they do. It's like how Hulk Hogan, I heard you couldn't make fun of him being bald because he went bald when he was like 20. He was balding when he was like 25. That's kind of how the car companies are. Like, you can't show the car being damaged. I'm like, well, then it's not really a sim, is it? It's a more boring arcade racer without any of the fun. It's still not realistic. Maybe how the car drives is realistic, but you know, the cars are like pristine, perfect. Kind of like the food commercials. The food commercials, like, you can make like the most basic looking food seem like it's masterclass. It's just ironic. That's all they make now with racing games, but they're not even realistic because the car companies have like pro wrestler egos. It must have been hell working on pro wrestling games. It's like most of the wrestlers have like really fragile egos. You had to like show them a certain way. I know the Hulk Hogan thing was true. You couldn't make fun of him being bald. It's pretty obvious you're bald. You can find footage of that guy's from like the early 80s. He's still balding. He's like 20. Refresh the playlist. It's starting to repeat. I don't know why it does that. I gotta start getting my my VGM RIP playlist going again. Mario Kart's also, like, not the best arcade racer either, because there's too many comeback mechanics. The thing about Mario Kart is it's really fun to play casually, and it's accessible, so it's not like most other games you can play with other people where there's always like such a huge skill gap. You might have played the game for like years and somebody you're playing with, a friend or significant other or family member has it. And you can like still enjoy it. The RNG and the comeback mechanics kind of make it so that you can't like be too good at it unless you disable the items. Mario Kart is just kind of in a situation where it's like one of the only surviving arcade racers, and even then it barely is, because they haven't made a Mario Kart 9. Mario Kart 8 keeps going. The game just got new DLC randomly. They just decided to not make one for Switch. Burnout's long dead. Burnout hasn't had a game in like over a decade. quests are killing me. Let me keep fighting. I have to keep going back and forth. Yeah, I didn't get much rest either. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be on later. My other job. I just feel like playing this right now. It's relaxing to listen to music.
Excellent.
Hey, good track right here. up, man? Good morning. Track right here. Why is this character not in DFO? DnF Duel? Someone explain that to me. Look at this shit. Crime against humanity. It just got totally denied that game, man. None of my favorite characters made it in, except for F Striker, who wasn't given. She's like the mascot, and then M Grappler. That's it. Swiftmaster's all right, I guess. Hope they announced something for that game at Evo. We know that's coming for that game as a balance patch, which might be a bad thing. Bobby, how you doing? I'm getting depressed playing this character because she's not in Duel. It really started to piss me off. Why'd they pick Kunoichi? Ah, man, Shadow Dancer or Rogue would have been way better choices. The game's roster just continues to trigger me. I'm not gonna get over it until they're in the game. But I'm definitely more invested because I have played this game on and off for many, many years. I'm sure most people don't care, but I don't know. It's not really much of an excuse. There's no shortage of videos of this for every class. It's a really old game. This game predates gacha games. Predates a lot of things, actually. Most things we kind of take for granted. This game is older. Looks like Skirmisher isn't very popular. Neither is Rogue. Oh, Rogue's like the coolest character in this game. The epitome of the thief class. Just fast, squishy. Squishy but fast. Really fun to control. Yeah, the game used to be a lot slower. It used to be way slower, but they've sped it up a lot. But you're also looking at endgame gameplay where people are building in attack speed and stuff. It's not going to be that fast all the time. There's definitely a difference. The fact that they actually added an armor bar is pretty cool. It's definitely something that was needed. No, it's actually kind of difficult to look up gameplay for this, actually, because the game is so old and it's changed so much. I have a lot of videos of this game on this channel. I have many videos. They don't really apply anymore. This game is so old. A completely different game back then. The leveling was more of a challenge, which I liked, but there are a lot of really bad things about the game back then, too. I definitely would play like an old version of this game. There's no private servers for this or anything. Well, actually, it's funny you mentioned that because they actually just did a number squish on this game. The numbers used to be really bad. Now it's fine. It's not anywhere near as bad as it used to be. You push the button once and do like 13 nines would appear on the screen. They did a big number squish. Kind of like what they did with World of Warcraft. I realized the numbers were a little bit too out of control. It was approaching Disgaea levels. Damage numbers. Nowhere near as bad as it used to be. But I understand you're looking at the game the way it is now and not from my perspective. I didn't grow up playing this game. I was already an adult when I started playing this, but definitely probably my most played MMO. This and PSO2 vanilla I played the most. This game is so old that people have legit grown up playing it, like, went to college, gotten married, and started their own family. That's how old this game is. The thing about this game is there's other games that do the combat better, but none of them really stick. This game has World of Warcraft syndrome, where it's like, it's the most popular game of this kind, action service game. There's other games that do stuff way better, but a lot of times they don't survive. Kritika is a good example. Kritika combat is pretty good, but the rest of that game is kind of amateurish design. How bad the engine is, for one. Just like Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV are like the only tab target MMOs that people play. just like this game. There's the other ones do things better, but nobody plays them, and they're not really good time investments. They die so fast. I've played a lot of games like this. Some of them are a lot more fun than this game, but they just don't last. It's like people will still like pick up Warcraft just because they know it's not gonna shut down tomorrow. Like, a lot of people don't even like Warcraft anymore, but people play it because of sunken cost fallacy and because the game is like unkillable. That's kind of how this game is. I would rather play PSO2 over this, but this game is better than PSO2 right now, because New Genesis is a piece of shit. At least this game didn't lose its identity. Still instanced, still fast-paced. There's no stupid open world ruining things. I think Diablo 3 is another example. People hated Diablo 3 when it came out. People just thought it was just straight Kusage. The ironic thing is there's been like barely any other good action RPGs since that game came out. Like barely any. So people keep going back to that game. It's interesting how that works. People will hate something so much, but then like they realize there's nothing else better. Like, that was legit like the best thing. Diablo 3 is in maintenance, but that's what's sad about the action RPG genres. Diablo 3 has been in maintenance mode for like 8 years. But there really isn't anything else that comes close. Action RPGs are kind of a dead genre. With this game, it's more like there's plenty of other games you could play like this, but they don't have as much content, and they don't have the security. Like, this game isn't gonna go anywhere. If anything, it'll stick around even when the sequels come out. There's been countless games like this that say they're gonna kill this game and they don't. Countless. It's sad, really. Like, this game is so old, but, like, people can't really make anything better. It really is Diablo 3 syndrome. There should have been a, like a better game by now, but there's not. PSO 2 is definitely on par with this game in my opinion, but they fucked that up. New Genesis just does not have the depth and the pace. That game felt like playing this online Muso game for a while. That's why I was like really into it. Still not over that game being dead. That was like my favorite. This is my second favorite action MMO. That game was something else, man. No, those games have been vaporware forever. And they also have to beat the curse of games like this, where they make new ones. They make new ones, but they're not as popular. They don't have as many people playing. And then the inevitable comparisons to the old game, which is this game has like 17 years of content. I feel like that's why those games are taking so long to come out. Pretty much all the other games like this have a fraction of the popularity. I'm not even exaggerating. Way less popular than this game. Now when I say that, I mean the Asian versions of the game, not this one. This one makes the least money, it has the least amount of players. But it still sticks around. There's other games I've played since this has come out that are long dead. This game makes a ridiculous amount of money. I wish there were more games like this, but games like this kind of transition to mobile. Each has its own fair share of problems, of course. Pay to win in the boxes. Power creep. That's kind of why I play PGR. It's kind of a similar experience to this, but combat is more in depth. It's not as mashy. Despite being a mobile gacha game, the monetization boxes and the power creep are kept under control. I think you can leave the game for months and your character won't be power crept. Yeah, if you want games like this, you kind of have to either play this, PSO2 New Genesis, which I don't recommend, or mobile gacha games, which have their own fair share of problems. There used to be a lot more games like this, but this game kind of killed them all. Some of them slowly, some of them quick and painlessly. Yeah, I really wanted to play Fighters Club. That game looked legit. I would have loved that game. That was like right up my alley. Mystic Fighter died really fast. The sprites in that game look really cool too. That game's a perfect example of how this game just kills everything else. They just get compared to this because it's been around for so long. It's kind of not really realistic. Doesn't matter how long you work on a game like this at launch, it's not going to have that much content. Plus, you have to actually listen to feedback from people that are spending money on your game, trying to fix it. You don't want to put out too much content and then have to fix it because people don't like it. Like I said, it's a lot similar to what's going on with World of Warcraft and FF14. There are other tap target MMOs to play, but there are other tap target MMOs to play, but nobody really wants to play them because they don't have the content and the security. Those games are way more time consuming than something like this, where it's you only have 3 characters you're working on. It's maybe 2 hours. 2 hours a day. Nothing too crazy. What? Mobile games die really fast too. A lot of the mobile games, they either don't work at launch, or people see how bad the microtransactions are and they stop playing, which is wise. You should do that. You see the warning signs right away. They're already desperate for money when the game is first released. That Nino Kuni one, that one was popular for a while. I think it still is, but apparently that game literally plays itself. They added like some cryptocurrency cash shop or something that the Asian versions of the game don't have. It's like way more pay to win. People stop playing it. I followed a guy who played that game for a while, and it made his channel explode. Like he was getting way more views on his stuff than just from playing that game versus the other stuff he was doing. He did Stranger in Paradise for a while, which is why I subscribed to him. And he was on that game for a while, and I thought it was pretty cool. He posted a community post. He's like, "Yeah, this game sucks." They made it super pay to win with the cryptocurrency crap or whatever. He's like, "Yeah, I don't want to support this game anymore." He's like, "I know that most of you are here to watch me play that game and make guides for it, but I don't want to play it anymore." I'm like, wow, it takes some balls to do that. It really does. Especially with gaming content being so clickbait focused these days. Either needs to be clickbait or a video essay. The problem with video essays is the algorithm likes them, but people might still not watch them, so you're putting like dozens of hours into those things and they might still just peak at like 500 views. Yeah, he stopped playing. He stopped playing that game. I'm sure his wallet took a big hit from doing that, but it was pretty commendable. I've never talked to the guy, but that's how you do it. I don't know, people can tell when you don't like playing something anymore. Happens a lot with esports games, Overwatch, League. A lot of those guys like quit those games. Like, yeah, I don't blame you. Wallet's gonna take a hit, but your mental health will be better. Doing it full time, and you can get by playing something that doesn't make you so tilted. You should. Yeah, Mystic Fighter looked really cool. I just couldn't compete with this game. Honestly don't know how Genshin Impact is so popular. It's like, it's obviously a really good game. It's not a bad game at all. Especially for mobile, where like 99% of games are just generic trash. They're like barely even video games. Like, it's definitely a good game. But as somebody who played their games before they were so popular, with Honkai Impact 3. I always thought that the shitty monetization would, like, kill that game, but no, it makes more money than everything else. I don't quite understand why. It's weird. What's up? How you doing? Yeah, but the monetization, I just said that it was a good game, but the monetization in MiHoYo stuff is such a big turn-off for me. I liked Honkai Impact. I played that game for like a year or two. But the monetization just got such a shitty value for your dollar. It kind of like made everything else about the game being so good a moot point for me. I know there are other people that agree with me. Their new game, Endless Zone Zero, looks pretty cool, but I know it's going to cost like an arm and a leg to get anything in that game, so... It looked like something I might enjoy, but... I don't know. $100 for 10 pulls. You kidding me? Yeah, but I'm not a whale. I'm not a whale. I don't have the money to be a whale. I just felt like I got a really crappy value for my dollar in that game. I just got tired of it. I got tired of it. I'm glad you agree that the monetization is awful. I'm glad you agree. Yeah. That's the biggest problem with their games. Downside to them. You get such a shitty value for your money. Like, if I spend on a game like this, I want to make sure I'm actually getting my money's worth. I don't think Genshin's gameplay is all that, really. It looks okay at best. But I get that people like the story, it's just, I just don't care about story. I'm gameplay focused. The gameplay in that game doesn't really look that great. Even if it did, I got burnt from Honkai Impact. I spent on that game and I just got nothing. I got tired of it. I'm like, yeah, I'm done playing this. I don't want to play this anymore. I prefer instanced, just dump me in a room. I don't care for open world. I don't know. A lot of people don't like. A lot of people don't like uh, Breath of the Wild. It's a very popular game, but it's also very divisive. There's lots of things people despise about that game. It's still a really, really high quality game, but I feel like depending on how far back you go with Zelda, you might not like that game. It's one of those games that's it's popular, but like uh, the longer it's been out, people kind of start to notice its flaws, and normally people will tell you you're stupid if you call out a flaw in a popular game of that popular game like that. But eventually, usually the internet kind of tends to change their consensus. It's like, yeah, this is a good game, but this aspect of it really sucks. And like maybe the old games did that one particular thing better. I just can't stand open world. I only played Dynasty Warriors 9 as long as I did because they let me just fast travel anymore everywhere. It just bores me. I just want to get straight into the action. I don't want my time wasted running around. Running around with a character that gets tired every 5 seconds. Like, it's just not for me. I get that people like to explore the worlds and stuff. I just find that stuff just not interesting. I would rather spend time, like, actually playing the game, making progress. But to each their own. That game is crazy popular. I don't have to agree with it. It's just, I'm just kind of at the point where uh, everything they make, I'm gonna compare it to Honkai, which is like a good game in its own right. But the monetization is trash. You don't get a good deal when you spend, and that's a deal breaker for me. No matter how good the game might look, it has to be better than PGR at this point for me. Like, PGR is I spend like $20 on that game a month. It's like a Netflix subscription I spend on that game, and I'm still like competitive, and the gameplay is way better. Let's see what I feel like playing next. Oh yeah, I got a River City Saga save. Let me get that loaded. One moment. Yeah, I agree with the RNG orbs, but Aether Gazer tried to change that. The problem with Aether Gazer is you only control one character, and you're stuck with like dim-witted Tails tier AI, like from the Tails series, where they're dumb as dirt. And they don't do anything. The problem with Aether Gazer is it tries to be like PGR, straight down to the stealing the witch time mechanic and stuff. It's just the movesets aren't large enough to really warrant there only being one character that you can control. That game is okay. It's nice how it just has cooldowns instead of the RNG orb system, but I played it for a few weeks. I'm like, this is just not as good as PGR. There's some things about it that are better, but the fact that you can only control one character really kills it for me. Like, if you're only going to have one character, the game should be like, a much larger moveset. The problem is it's not. Like, you still only have like 3 moves. Well, the thing about Honkai is that the characters don't have that many moves, but uh, it's all about the synergies and the rotations and stuff. And you can kind of like get around the fact that the characters by themselves don't really have that much going on. Aether Gazer is like, we're going to give you the same 3 moves, but you can't control the other characters. All you can do is just tell them to assist, which feels about as good as a Tales game. You know how Tales games, like, you play those games and the AI just stands around or refuses to heal you, or they don't continue the combo. That's exactly how that game feels. I don't know why they I don't know why they designed the game that way. I feel like they shot themselves in the foot because, like, the art style is nice, the music is good. Uh, the gear system is actually pretty similar to PGR, where it's pretty much just the weapon that you need. You need to pull for. There's not like an excessive amount of stuff you need to pull for. Uh, but the whole one character gimmick just does not work. It doesn't work at all. I played that game for quite a little bit. I played it for like a month. I'm like, yeah, this ain't it, man. You tried to copy PGR, but like the depth is just not there. It's not fun building up characters and then not actually being able to control them. It can't even really compare it to Tails, because in Tails it's like you do that too, but you can switch between them at any time in the middle of a battle. So if you need them to cast something or you want to use them, you can just switch. In Aether Gazer, you can't do that. They're kind of they just stand there. It felt really hollow to play. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Like, it just doesn't work. I'm surprised that game is getting a global release so soon. I think people are going to endlessly compare it to Honkai and PGR, and those games, despite their faults, are better because you actually control everybody on the field, and you get all the extra depth from that instead of just one guy you control. Yeah, I noticed that's what they do with Honkai. They give them like more moves and stuff, which makes them more interesting to play, which I like. It's just the monetization that game sucks, so I have no desire to go back to it. Yeah, that game is all about rotations. It's less about like actually fighting. If you do the rotation, you just kind of kill everything. Uh, they also power creep in that game really bad too, compared to PGR. PGR you can legit like not play for months, and like if there's any power creep at all, it's like one character. It's not like tons of them. The power creep in PGR is kept under control, which I think really helps the gameplay loop because you don't have to play it every day. You can stop for months and your characters aren't going to be complete trash, which is a problem in a lot of gacha games. Like spend hardcore on a character and then they power creep them. They do that a lot in I don't know how the monetization is in Aether Gazer either. All I bought for that game was the battle pass, and then like By the time I finished it, I'm kind of like, this game isn't that great. This game's okay, but I don't know. It's so similar to PGR, but it's worse in a lot of ways. Really weird decision to give you one character. Especially from a money standpoint, too. Like, it's less interesting to gear up a character when you don't actually control them. This is River City Saga 3 Kingdoms. Yeah, I beat this game when it came out. Came out quite a while ago. I beat it in Japanese. But I was gifted this by a viewer. Just kind of want to look at the gear. See if there's cool builds you can make. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop. I think I'm going to try to get some rest. Finish up the rest of the DFO fatigue later. And then I'll probably play some Naraka Blade Point. That sounds good. I didn't really get much sleep. Should probably get some rest, so I have to work tonight. I'm running on very little sleep, so we'll finish the DFO fatigue later. Just got to do my skirmisher, and then I'll probably play some other stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the morning stream. I should be back maybe after I get some rest and have some lunch. I might come back and finish up DFO and free up the schedule for some other stuff. I'm going to attempt to get some rest. See ya.